Good morning, children. I'm Mrs. Das here. Today we are going to do value education, and the chapter is the angry giant. Children, this chapter I have already explained this chapter in the class. I'm just going through it again. Once there was a giant who lived in a big house. He had a beautiful garden. The giant had a beautiful garden, and he never let anyone enter it. He didn't let anybody enter the garden because he was very selfish. When he was away, some children from the neighborhood would come into his garden to play. So the children were very frightened of him. So whenever he was not in the house, the children used to come and play in his garden. One day when the giant was not at home, the children came to play as usual. When he returned, he saw the children playing happily in his garden. This made him very angry. So one day when he was not in the house, when he came back and he saw the children playing in his garden, he got very angry. He chased all the children away, and then he built a tall wall around the garden. So he got very angry, and he built a tall wall around the garden for the children not to come in. The children could not climb the wall to enter the giant's garden. Without happy children in the garden, all the flowers died, the leaves curled up and became dry. No new flowers, leaves or plants grew. In winter, snow fell and covered the whole garden. So when the children were not coming into the garden, so without the happy children in the garden, all the flowers died, the leaves curled up and became dry. He knew no new flowers, leaves or plants grew. In winter, snow fell and covered the whole garden. When spring came everywhere, trees grew new leaves and buds. Soon there were green leaves and beautiful flowers everywhere. Birds sang on trees, bees buzzed around flowers, and animals played around the bushes. But in the giant's garden, there was still winter. But it was still winter in the giant's garden. No leaves grew on trees. There were no flowers and no birds. The giant got worried. He wondered why winter did not leave his garden. So he was getting worried why there was still winter in the giant's garden. Then one morning the giant heard a cuckoo singing. Amazed, he went out to see the cuckoo. One morning when he heard the cuckoo singing, he was quite worried. He was thinking how this could happen. He saw a few children playing in his garden. Then he noticed a tiny hole in his garden's high wall. The children had squeezed through it. The children came in through the wall. When they happily played in the garden, winter left, taking all the snow and cold with it. Spring happily entered the giant's garden. Trees bloomed with new leaves and flowers. Birds sang on every tree. He could even see small animals going happily about their business in the garden. So when the children started coming into the garden, the winter left and the trees started growing new leaves and everything. The giant realized that he had been wrong. He had been selfish. He had not shared his beautiful garden. He had not shared the joy his garden gave him with the children. From that day onwards, he let the children play in his garden. Sometimes, when they were all having fun, the giant would sit and enjoy looking at them playing. So, thank you, children. This is all for today. God bless you.